It's probable that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky wed in secret. After the rapper referred to himself as husband, rumors about Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's marriage reappeared. The 37-year-old Rocki Irish Mayers told a magazine in an interview that his family has brought him joy. He added that having children, he would always be happy in the company of his 3 children and a loving husband. The Diamond singer and A$AP Rocky have been pals for a while, if you're not familiar with them. Prior to beginning their relationship in 2020, they had also collaborated professionally. The power couple has 3 children, 2 boys, Rocki Irish Mayers and Riot Rose Mayers, and a girl, Rocki Irish Mayers. Perhaps Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are now married, as evidenced by his confirmation. The rapper said in an interview that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are said to be married. In a recent interview with The Perfect magazine, he made a hint about his marriage. The occasions when he experiences joy and contentment were the subject of questions. Peace and being with his family have always brought him happiness, he replied. Being a father and a partner and a loving what truly makes me happy is my family's husband, the monster actor said. He drew notice when he used the term husband to describe himself. The engagement and marriage rumors involving Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have never been discussed in public. The performer, on the other hand, has frequently made light of being legally obligated to his lover. In addition, the Don't Be Dumb performer went into further detail about his perspective. Despite wondering if his response was cliché, he maintained that it was the truth. The moments in which he was able to express his creativity, be a family man, and also be an artisan seemed to bring him joy. It doesn't matter, it's all about giving it my all and doing these things, regardless of the hat I'm wearing that day, he said in conclusion. In the meanwhile, this is not the first time the father of 3 has made light of being the husband of the well-known singer. In an interview conducted in September, he was asked if he was excited about becoming Rihanna's legal companion. He responded with a smile, "How do you know I'm not already of my spouse?" Chuckles, "I'm not going to confirm it just yet." In his most revealing remark to date, Rihanna marriage rumors are fueled by A$AP Rocky. The mind should be focused on marriage. Rumors that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have gotten married have been fueled by fan conjecture that the couple has been secretly uttering "I do." In a recent interview with Perfect magazine, which was released on Wednesday, the Praise the Lord rapper referred to himself as Rihanna's husband. Being a father and he said, "Having a supportive spouse and partner in my family is what truly brings me happiness," he remarked, alluding to his 3 children with the singer, Riot, 2, Rocki, 3, and Rocky, who is 1 month old. Furthermore, Rocky stated that his art is inspired by raising a family. Being able to express myself creatively, being able to be a family man, and being able to be an artisan are what really motivate me, he stated. This is not the first time that the 37-year-old Rocky has hinted that he and the Diamonds performer, who is also 37, are already married. In an interview with Elle magazine last month, Rocky was asked if he was prepared to be a husband. Rocky responded, "How you? Do I know that I'm not married yet? I'm still not going to confirm it," he said with a smile. Although the hip-hop artist stayed silent about their relationship, he did provide some information about his connection with the Fenty Beauty creator. "We don't," Rocky said, "we talk too much about work since we handle that all day, every day. When you come home, it's about family," he went on. "It's about your relationship. It's about your household. It ain't about all that other st." After a long friendship and partnership, Rihanna and Rocky began dating in 2020. The media speculated about their engagement when Rihanna was seen 2 years later sporting a big diamond on her left ring finger. They had their first kid, a boy named Rocki, in May of that year. Rihanna revealed that she was expecting her second child with Rocky in February 2024 during her halftime performance at Super Bowl 57. The couple had a son, Riot, in secret on August 3, 2023. Following Rihanna's announcement that she was carrying their third kid as she strolled the red carpet at the 2025 Met Gala, Rocky said that they wanted to have a baby girl. We're praying for a girl, he told Elle, adding, our first time, we wanted to know the sex of the second time, we didn't want to know, and the third time, we don't want to know until, well, you know, baby. Sharing a picture with the newborn, Rihanna confirmed that Rocki Irish Mayers was born on September 13. Rocki affirmed that they have a daughter by commenting with a pink bow emoji, but she did not disclose their child's gender. The title of her article, My Lil' Lady's Red Heart. 1 month after teasing his marriage, A$AP Rocky calls himself Rihanna's loving husband. Rocki, who they confirmed was born last month, is one of the 3 children the rapper and Rihanna share. The other 2 are RZA, 3, and Riot, 2. As quickly as possible it appears that Rocki is responding to rumors that he and Rihanna are married. When discussing his domestic life with The Perfect magazine, the 36-year-old rapper described himself as a loving husband. Their 3 children, RZA, 3, Riot, 2, and 1-month-old Rocki, are with the Diamonds singer, who is 37. In an interview with the publication, he stated, I am genuinely, truly happy to be a father, a partner, and a loving spouse in my family, a piece that appeared on Wednesday, October 29. I hope this doesn't sound cliché, and I would hate if it does, because honestly, that's what motivates me, the opportunity to express. Being able to express myself creatively, being a family man, and being an artisan, it doesn't matter what hat I wear, he went on. On that day, all that matters is my ability to give it my all and complete these tasks. In the past, the Praise the Lord singer has been reticent about whether he and Rihanna have advanced their relationship. In an interview with Elle last month about his expectations for marriage, he seemed to avoid the topic. Rocki responded to the outlet by saying, how do you know I'm not already a husband? I'm still not going to confirm it, he said with a smile. Rocki did, though, shed some light on his domestic life with Rihanna and how the couple managed to make it work with 3 children living in the same residence. Coming home is about family, he told Elle. It's about your relationship. It's about your household. It has nothing to do with any of that other nonsense. Rocki and Rihanna's relationship was verified by People in November 2020. In Rihanna's home country of Barbados, the 2 of them spent their first holiday season together with her family that December. They've always seemed to have a great time together. They have a lot in common, a source told People at the time. From there, the couple's bond only deepened, and in a June/July 2021 cover article for GQ, Rocki referred to Rihanna as his love of my life and the one. He said at the time that being in a relationship was so much better as he considered what it was like. When you find the one, it's so much better. There are perhaps a million more of the other ones like Rihanna. I believe that you know when you know. She's the one, he said, I know. In 2022, 2023, and 2025, the pair continued to have 2 boys and a daughter, respectively. In 2023, the Grammy-winning singer spoke to Page 6 about how her relationship with Rocki has changed since they became parents, saying that it has simply brought them closer together. As a father, I adore him in a different way. She described Rocki as a great, patient, loving dad in an interview with Page 6, saying, it's a turn-on. The focus isn't on who performed it first. It's about who did it best, Amber said in an interview with A$AP Rocky. More later for the ideal A$AP Rocky zine. Giving your first album the title a statement of longevity is a daring step. The first studio album that A$AP Rocky released after the hit mixtape Live was Long Live A$AP, which came out in 2012. Love. Prior to their talent having been thoroughly tested by time, he and his colleagues in the rap group A$AP Mob proclaimed their eternity in love. A$AP, 2011. After 13 years, the notion that A$AP Rocky is here to stay has gone from being a baseless statement to a fact that cannot be disputed. He established the multifaceted creative agency and apparel brand AWGE, is developing a promising acting career, and has a number of timeless albums under his belt. Recently became the first creative director for Ray-Ban. The fact that I was the first person to plant the flag at the summit is not the only reason why I pursue all these different endeavors, because it's not about who did it first, he told me. It's about which person performed the best. I prioritize establishing a lasting legacy in all of my actions. I'm hesitant to simply drop for that reason. I don't do things simply to maintain my relevance or to keep my name in the discussion. I make an effort to engage in organic, imaginative, and ambitious pursuits that truly fulfill me. Having presented 2 collections under the AWGE banner at Paris Fashion Week, performing in acting parts alongside Hollywood royalty, and getting ready for the publication of at a period in his career when most people would expect him to be slowing down, Rocki's new album seems set to push his reputation and impact to even greater heights. Other artists would be finding it difficult to stay relevant and creative. It's all coming to a head: art, nostalgia, hope, dreams, legacy, devotion, truth, and family. In his Los Angeles house, A$AP Rocky was unwinding in a yard with extremely reflective Ray-Bans and pink foam rollers that looked similar to those. The ones he invited for his ideal picture shoot earlier that week. This right here, this entire appearance is me at age 17, 18, 19, just getting out of the beauty parlor. This is the new mood, which is all about being out in the neighborhood and witnessing criminals go to the beauty parlor, come out, and continue the rollers in their hair for a couple of days. I considered it to be ill. The obligatory fashion collection, which Rocki recently created for AWGE for spring/summer 2026, also included hot pink rollers as an accessory. The new vibe he's alluding to here expands upon the themes of that collection, examines the connection between high fashion and daily life, and plays with it. Given how clothing can reveal or conceal a person's identity, Rocki doesn't make such a clear distinction between our attire and our identity. The conflicts between dressing for ourselves and dressing for society were examined in obligatory fashion. Rocki spoke about the extraordinary nature of his recent widely publicized trial, where he was accused of, but eventually proven innocent of, assault with a firearm. The pageantry of a courthouse emphasizes how each individual has a unique role in society, as seen by their distinct attire. Literally, my trials and tribulations inspired the most recent collection. I remember being in the hallways waiting for court, and there were so many different kinds of folks. What I was attempting to convey with the phrase obligatory fashion is that everyone I saw wearing that attire in the courtroom seemed to be required to do so. The lawyer will dress like a lawyer. A construction worker passed through in uniform. He had to pay off a ticket before arriving late for work. Followed by a woman entering to get child support-related materials. I make an effort to integrate all these diverse experiences into my life. I had female lawyers, secretaries, attorneys, and ordinary folks. My interpretation of the baby mama or my interpretation of the construction worker, going down the aisle all at once. A contradiction within the notion of a uniform lies at the heart of this viewpoint. A uniform is intended to separate and single out a person or group of people as belonging to a certain allegiance or identity, which may include a variety of things. Easily and instantly recognized. It's nearly the same as thinking about a cartoon character, like Doug Funny or SpongeBob, and how it's always the same consistent uniform. Therefore, you link a particular individual to that shape and appearance. Conversely, uniforms are uniform. They encourage group cohesion by eradicating individuality, erasing visual disparities, and promoting the identification of individuals as members of a group, frequently as a means of maintaining power. Rocki contrasted the New York Police Department logo with a different interpretation of NYPD, now in his first AWGE collection, titled American Sabotage. You're in the public domain. I had a few models walking around in the police uniform, but it was just pieces that you could wear in everyday fashion, everyday attire, he said. Why does a uniform elicit respect from some people while eliciting disdain from others? It raises questions about why the iconography is linked with power and how that power is used by redesigning the iconography of government organizations into civilian attire. Is used and channeled in daily life. Restrictive measures to outlaw kafiyas at campus demonstrations, military uniforms, face masks, plainclothed ICE agents, laws and rules governing how people dress and represent institutions has been a key issue in modern political debate. One of civilization's enduring political conflicts is the tension between the individual and the group, but it has become particularly poignant in recent times as global hatred has grown. The tension between difference and homogeneity could be felt even in the venue for the obligatory fashion runway show, the United Protestant Church of the Star in Paris. The church represents a worldwide network of significant influence as a Christian establishment, and it also stands out as a unique Protestant church in largely Catholic France. One technique for interpolating Rocki's courtroom experiences was putting on the show in a chapel. In the old days, he clarifies, much of what is now dealt with in courts was dealt with in churches. When someone committed a crime, or if they believed someone was a witch or anything else, everyone would gather in the church and render a judgment. I apologize for being so vulgar and graphic. It doesn't matter if you were going to be hanged, decapitated, or anything else. The site was described by Rocki as nostalgic, modern, and futuristic all in one. He refuses to provide every detail that backs up the main ideas of his work, just as every magnificent river flows to an ocean. So much context that individuals are unable to create their own hypotheses. Considering a refracted picture as a crucial element of legacy creation, he invites his audience to draw their own judgments about his work. People always say that art is subjective, and sometimes the viewer has his own interpretation or idea of what you meant or were trying to express, and that leads to various tales and legends, he said. When it comes to that, I'm all for it. The About section of the AWGE website just lists 2 rules. First, never disclose what AWGE stands for. 2. If you're unsure, always consult rule number 1. I used to think it was a somewhat cheeky way of arbitrarily fostering mystery, but it now strikes me as a representation of Rocki's general approach to artistic creation and interacting with the general public. As usual, he hasn't neglected any detail of his appearance or delivery. Rocki is confident in his own creative direction, but he's also a trustworthy partner when in the right hands. He recently played alongside Denzel Washington in Spike Lee's picture Highest to Lowest. As a New Yorker, it was, he stated. Between Spike Lee and Denzel, it was a dream come true. Their relationship alone is just historic. Therefore, I am honored to be considered an honorary member of their legacy. The movie is a free version of Akira Kurosawa's 1963 film High and Low, which is based on the 1959 book King's Ransom by in a fictionalized version of Manhattan called Isola. There is a tale called Evan Hunter. Lee's choice to set the story in modern-day New York City is, in this way, both an adaptation of Kurosawa's work and a return to the source. Rocki, who knew the filming locations from his early years, also saw the opportunity as a kind of homecoming. For many years, I resided in the Bronx. I constantly moved between Harlem and that location. This was my former stomping area. We filmed at my brother's former residence on Girard Avenue and 161. Practically on my former street. It was very similar to Deja Vu. To be honest, it was really bizarre. I recall getting on the train and doing things like visiting this Chinese restaurant that was still there, the same bodegas and stuff. It's inexplicable. What remains the same can be just as amazing as what varies over time. Given the seismic shift in Rocki's life, it's understandable that he's the most perplexed by the former.